Welcome to the inaugural show of Crime Stoppers. I'm your host, Chip Brown. Heartland Crime Stoppers is a community-based program designed to help law enforcement solve crime by setting up a system which allows the public to phone in tips anonymously and receive cash rewards for information that leads to an arrest, the recovery of stolen property, or the recovery of illegal drugs. Heartland Crime Stoppers is funded through the Florida Crime Stoppers Trust Fund and through donations from the community. Citizens and local businesses make Crime Stoppers work. On today's show, we will talk with Larry Holden, Chief of Police, Davenport Police Department, and feature some of Polk County's most wanted criminals. We kick off our show today with Chris Velasquez, the Chief of Police from Lake Wales. The Lake Wales Police Department is committed to providing quality and professional services while striving to consistently improve accountability through positive community relationships. Chief Velasquez, welcome to the show this morning. So glad to have you.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Now, how long have you been chief now in Lake Wales?
I've been chief in Lake Wales now for just a little over 3 years.
Okay, it's been a fun time, I'm sure.
It has. It's been very interesting. It's been challenging, but it's been very rewarding.
Yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get to be the police chief?
Well, I started after I graduated the police academy. I started with the Lake Wales Police Department as a reserve officer. I worked my way into a full-time position, and over the years I worked in just about every area within the department, from patrol. I did K-9, special investigations. I had a really interesting career. Began working towards promotion and was promoted to sergeant, and served as sergeant in the Special Investigations Division. And from there I moved over to the Investigations Division and was promoted to the Investigations Commander. And my career just continued to climb. I worked hard. I worked to get through college and get my education, and it's really worked out for me well. I served about 5 years as the deputy chief prior to being appointed as chief of police in 2011.
Well, that sounds like you put in a lot of work and effort for that.
A lot of hard work, but again, very rewarding, and it's really paid off.
Now, you were going to school to get your degree while you were working full-time as an officer, is that correct?
I was. Took a while for me to get in gear and really decide that that's what I needed to do. You know, the only thing I can do now is look back and say I just wasn't ready all those other years before I decided. Once I did, I really enjoyed it, and worked to obtain my bachelor's degree in criminal justice, and then continued on and got my master's degree in public administration.
Well, that's very commendable. That's tough work to do. Now, you have been to, what, the FBI National Academy, have you not?
I did. I was able to go to the FBI National Academy. I went to the 237th class. Fascinating. It was just outstanding. Went there with 250 people from around the world, law enforcement leaders and administrators, and really learned a lot. It was very challenging, but extremely rewarding.
I know in many of these agencies I go to, I see that the police chief has that yellow brick that is part of what they call the yellow brick road, the part of the conditioning and training class for physical ability that y'all go through, and it's a very tough course, not only physically but also mentally.
It certainly is. I have my yellow brick, and I have it behind my desk on my shelf, and I look back, and a lot of good times and a lot of good memories when I look at that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, tell us a little bit about your agency, your staffing. How many people do you have? How many people do you serve?
The Lake Wales Police Department we have 44 sworn law enforcement officers. We have 6 civilians, and we serve a population of approximately 15,000. The city's approximately 15 square miles, and very, very unique city, very active, very busy. We have Highway 60, we have Highway 27 that both run through the city, and you know, during the daytime, the service population definitely increases. Could almost say it's close to almost double. So it's very, very busy city, and very unique. A lot of good people, and just I love serving there.
Yeah, especially having come up through the ranks like you did, you really understand the feeling of the community and what needs to be done, what can be done. and to really have your pulse on things, don't you?
Sure. Yes. That's one nice thing about being in a smaller community is we really build relationships with folks. We get to know the people throughout the community, through the schools, through the businesses. Really helps us out and really helps us feel connected with the community, and even more so important, helps them feel connected to us.
Very good. Now, I know that you have a yearly event, the Mardi Gras that you have over there. That brings a lot of extra people into the city that aren't normally there, which requires a lot of working with your staff and some plans and changing some hours, a few things like that. Tell us how that really impacts your agency.
Well, the greatest challenge is that we have to be prepared for any type of a large-scale emergency. We work very closely with the Sheriff's Office, the Fire Department, public safety throughout the county, and even more so with the event organizers. A lot of that has to do with just really going back and looking at what's happened over the years, how we've operated, how we functioned, and just making sure that we've covered everything. I've got a really good team of people, and the event organizers are outstanding also. So it does present the challenge because there's potential for a large incident to occur with all those people, and it could be anything from a vehicle breaking down or some type of a crash in the middle of the parade, up to somebody being hurt by one of the floats. It's really fascinating. If anybody out there's never seen it, I definitely recommend you go and check it out. It's a great time. It
certainly sounds like it. Now, of course, having been in law enforcement as you have, you've seen a lot of changes over the years. And probably the biggest thing would be the new social media. That has really kind of exploded over the last couple of years. How have you seen that impact your department?
Social media has absolutely played a big impact and a big role in law enforcement. There are times that we'll be in the middle of an investigation that's just breaking, and we'll see photos, we'll see articles. Sometimes they might not be accurate, but it's still showing that we're out in the middle of an incident. Very helpful, though, on the other hand, because we're able to reach out to thousands of people, potentially hundreds of thousands, to even millions of people through social media. It's definitely part of the future. It's definitely where we're heading, and in fact, we're already there. So it's something that we've worked really hard to harness and use it to our advantage.
Yeah, it's ever growing, ever changing. So you really have to stay abreast of that. Let me ask you, Crime Stoppers, we have a partnership that we have with all of the organizations and law enforcement agencies. How has Crime Stoppers been able to assist you and your organization?
Well, I've got to say that Crime Stoppers has been an incredible partner for us. You and the organization have just been outstanding. Over the years, whenever we've had any type of a case that we need help with, and we work all of our cases very hard, we reach out and get your assistance to be able to put out flyers, to do media blitzes, whatever it might be. We work with the school system. The tip component of Crime Stoppers is priceless for a citizen, a student, whoever it might be, to be able to reach out and call that number and anonymously report a crime or their suspicion of a crime. A lot of times it just gives us a direction to go. Very helpful. You guys have gone and actually attended and helped us with community events. Different times throughout my career here, we've had violent crimes, and you guys have been there right there for us to talk with the community and help encourage and help reassure them that they can report crime anonymously. And finally, just your overall support of our department and of law enforcement in general. We're going on several years now that you've helped sponsor us to community crime prevention programs, and each time we've been able to partner with individuals from our community and bring them with us, and what better way to help build partnerships for a safer community than to do that with our own community.
Chris, there's so many different things that go into having a successful agency and working with the community. Of course, the support from your city staff, from your mayor down to your commissioners to the people that work in the different departments. How has this really helped your department?
Well, I tell you, I've been very blessed with having an outstanding management team in support of us. Kenneth Fields is our city manager, Eugene Fultz is our mayor, our city commission. They've just been extremely supportive. I give credit to the men and women that work with me for their support. We've done everything that we can. We work really hard each and every day. We work to be good stewards of the community and of the city's money. And I think that goes a long way, but they've been extremely supportive and are there whenever we need them. Essentially, if we let them know that we need something, they're there behind us.
Chief Velasquez, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate your time and what you do for the community.
Well, again, I'd like to thank you for having the opportunity, giving me the opportunity to be here today. I appreciate the opportunity to serve, and I appreciate the opportunity to reach out and talk about our department and our community.
For more information on the Lake Wales Police Department, you can visit them on the web at cityoflakewales.com/LWPD or follow them on Facebook at facebook.com/Lake Wales Police. Crime Stoppers provides a method for local law enforcement to receive anonymous information on crimes. These efforts increase tips, which in turn increase arrests in our community, making our communities a safer place to be. Here is a look at our most wanted.
Polk County Sheriff's deputies are seeking information about a retail theft that occurred in the 2100 block of West Memorial Boulevard in Lakeland. On Wednesday, January 21st, 2014, at approximately 4:20 p.m., a subject removed items from the Sunoco located at 2100 West Memorial Boulevard. The incident was captured on video camera. The subject is a white male wearing dark shorts and a dark shirt and appears to be possibly in his 40s. Lakeland police are attempting to identify and speak with an individual in reference to the grand theft of a laptop tablet valued at $4,000 from the Best Buy at 4215 Highway 98 in Lakeland. The individual is described as a black male with a short haircut and possibly some facial hair. He was last seen wearing a white button-down shirt, dark pants, and brown shoes. Anyone with information on the identification of this individual is asked to contact the Lakeland Police Department Detective Fetz at 863-834-8993 or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-226-8477. Polk County Sheriff's detectives are seeking information about a retail theft on 4 separate occasions at various times during the pre-dawn and late evening hours. A black female subject has removed property without paying from the Circle K convenience store located at 6340 County Line Road in Lakeland. The incidents occurred between Friday, December 5th, 2015 and Tuesday, December 17th, 2015. Polk County Sheriff's Office deputies are seeking information about the female credit card theft suspect in North Lakeland. The suspect seen here used a stolen credit card and made several purchases at the Lakeland Square Mall. Polk County Sheriff's deputies are seeking the public's help in the theft of several items from a Haines City home. At 8 a.m. on Tuesday, January 27, 2015, an unknown suspects driving a gray extended cab pickup truck removed over $2,500 worth of items from the victim's home in the 7000 block of Highway 554 in Haines City. The suspect stole a roping saddle, a water pump with a 40-gallon tank, 40 bags of cattle feed, and miscellaneous horse staff. Polk County Sheriff's Office deputies are seeking the public's help in identifying 2 suspects seen at the Ross store in Davenport on 2 separate occasions stealing customers' purses. The suspects seen here stole a woman's wallet from a shopping cart at the Ross department store located in Posner Park in Davenport. They then went to the nearby Target store and used the stolen credit card to purchase over $2,500 worth of merchandise. The same two suspects stole another victim's purse from a shopping cart at a Ross and went to the nearby Target and Best Buy and purchased thousands of dollars worth of merchandise. Polk County Sheriff's Office robbery detectives are seeking the public's help in the whereabouts of a known personal armed robbery suspect who has a warrant for his arrest. Around 8:50 p.m. on October 23rd, 2014, the victim was walking east on 2nd Street in Lakeland when he passed three unknown males, one of whom was black and the other two Hispanic. The victim then turned north on North Davis Avenue and heard footsteps behind him. He looked back and saw the same three males walking behind him. One of the suspects asked the victim for a cigarette. Another suspect pointed what appeared to be a silver handgun at him. After robbing the victim of his personal belongings, all three suspects fled on foot south on North Davis towards Memorial Boulevard. Two of the three suspects were positively identified and arrested. The third suspect has been positively identified as 16-year-old Salvador Cruz of 819 North Davis Avenue in Lakeland. He is currently at large. He goes by the name Chavo. He is in violation of juvenile conditional release and now has a warrant for armed robbery. He has 7 prior arrests in Polk County. This is his most recent mugshot. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of Salvador Chavo Cruz, you are urged to contact the Polk County Sheriff's Office Robbery Unit.
Welcome back to Crime Stoppers. I'm your host, Chip Brown. Our next guest is a 20-year-plus veteran of law enforcement, Larry Holden, Chief of Davenport Police Department, and has been on the job since December of 2012. The Davenport Police Department is proud of the excellent reputation in our community of providing a high-quality level of service. Chief Holden, welcome to the show today.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here.
We're always glad to have you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Chief. How did you end up being the police chief in Davenport?
Started, like you said, over 20 years ago. I started with Lake Wells as a reserve officer back in '94. Then went full-time with them. Worked my way up to the rank of a captain at Lake Wells, able to be involved in all aspects of law enforcement. After that, I left there and came to Davenport for a couple years as a supervisor. Moved on to Winter Haven. Spent a couple years at Winter Haven, was able to work with the Polk County Sheriff's Office HIDA Task Force, which was a great experience for me. And then the opportunity for the chief's position at Davenport came open, and then I applied and was luckily selected.
Well, very good. Now, you had mentioned HIDA. A lot of our folks probably don't know what HIDA stands for. Maybe you can explain a little bit about what that is.
HIDA, and you'll see it in the paper occasionally, and usually it's these major arrests that Sheriff Judd does interviews with, but it's High Intensity Drug Task Force. And it's certain areas across the country that have been selected or labeled as this, and within there's federal funds, and you create a task force where members from all different agencies work together as a team and try to fight the drug problems.
That really pays a lot of benefits in a number of ways, not only in getting the drugs off the street, these high-profile cases, but it also allows you to work so closely with these other agencies, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, that was one of the best parts, was building partnerships with other agencies, because you work hand in hand every day. And a lot of times you're partnered up with a different agency, so you're building them that core foundation of friendships and partnerships that, now that I'm out of HIDA, I can call any of the old buddies up and say, hey, can you help me with this? And you've had that relationship in place, and it works great for you.
Yeah, and those contacts are so important in your job, because you have to have those contacts to be able to get the work done in many cases, don't you?
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, and the contact, that's one of the main goals, I think, for law enforcement, is you have to build the relationships. This year, I'm the president of the Polk County Police Chiefs Association, where all the command staff from all the local agencies, and also FDLE, FBI, get together, and yourself. And it's building relationships, so if we ever need anything, we can just pick up the phone and call, and you get whatever you need. It's working out great.
Yeah, but we're always glad to help, and we certainly appreciate the work that you've done, not only in Davenport, but throughout your career. It really builds our community and makes it a safer place to be. Tell us a little bit about Davenport. How large of a city is that? How many population do they serve and such like that?
We're a little over 4 square miles. We're really small. Our mailing address, and what confuses a lot of the citizens of Polk County, is our mailing address extends miles and miles. We go all the way up to Lake County, Osceola County, so people see that address and they think they're in the city, and actually they're not. We're a quaint little small town, a little over 3,000 population. Hopefully we're expecting within our next 5 years, and I expect the next 2 years, that we're going to probably add another 1,000 people to our population. All of our subdivisions that were once purchased back in the when the bubble busted are now starting to fill out, and we're really growing and looking excited and looking forward to it.
Yeah, 1,000 people maybe doesn't sound like much, but when you think you only have 3,000 or 4,000 people there now, you're almost going to double the size of your city.
Yes, yes.
How does that impact your staff? How many officers do you have?
Currently we have 9 full-time officers and 2 reserve officers, and then I have 1 civilian position, which she pretty much runs the police department. We brought on the reserves last year, and just to help supplement with not having to pay salaries, which is always nice. We're always trying to save money, but we need the bodies. So right now we're looking good. We're hoping that in the next year or so we're going to start planning to add more personnel just to handle the increased population. Because like you said, that's a lot of people, for a size town of ours.
Larry, besides the normal day-to-day duties that the men and women do every day in law enforcement, special events can really pose some unique opportunities. Tell us about some of that.
Well, with our special events, like any other community, we have several that are specific to Davenport, such as the Highwaymen and Winterfest. And these are events where we'll get large crowds coming out to see. And we have to provide security, we have to provide traffic control, which is the major points. Keep everything running smooth. This year also is our 100th centennial birthday. So we're looking forward to having some events throughout the year that will celebrate that, which will be unique and first time for us to deal with.
Absolutely. Now, support not only from the community is essential to law enforcement, but the support from the city manager, from the city staff is paramount in working in any agency. Tell us about your situation.
I've got a great city manager, great city commission. City manager lets me do my job. She's there to support me, not micromanage. And then any suggestions that I have or that we need to bring in front of the commission, she takes to the commission, and the commission has worked great with us. They're fiscally sound. They're not going to let us get out of control. But also they see that there needs to be growth and that we have projects. And if we can justify why we need the projects, then they're for us and they support us with it.
Yeah, it would be nice to have a blank checkbook in many cases to do some of the things you'd like to do. But there are constraints and the taxpayer base, so it certainly can be a balancing act, which you seem to be having a really good handle on, and I know that the city managers really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I know that you've had some specialty training other than just the local law enforcement type thing, and then there are several national organizations that offer this very unique and intense training. Tell us about your experience with that.
My experience is, other than just some of the many local leadership classes that I've been able to attend, is one of them that I'm very proud of is the Southern Police Institute. It's an institute that takes the leaders currently and of the future, and gives them intense training on just how to be a leadership, how to be a department head, a chief of police, and so it was a very exciting class to take.
Okay. Now, where is this class at? Where is it held?
This particular class was held in Orlando. They're out of Louisville, University of Kentucky, or University of Louisville in Kentucky is where they're out of, but the particular class I attended was in Orlando.
Okay. And how long is this class? How long does it take?
It was over a 5-month period.
Oh my goodness.
2 weeks every month that we would go up there every day and train and then come back.
I'm sure it really prepares you for some of the things that you didn't expect as a police chief. A lot of budget things and planning and strategic thinking that's just so essential not only to law enforcement but as a head of an agency that you really have to think about that you probably didn't realize, as in our case, as we were young officers and just working the midnight shift, rattling doors and shining windows, as we called it.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, it definitely trained me, helped me, but then it's every day it's something new, and you got to constantly keep learning and adapting and changing. So it's definitely been an experience.
Yeah. One of the things that I have seen over the years, and I'm sure you have too, is social media has just really exploded in law enforcement. Back in the days, it was just let me do my job and I'll take care of it for you. But now with the media, it has really changed the outlook of law enforcement.
Oh, definitely. And I hate to say it, I'm probably a little illiterate in social media. I have a great staff that can support it, but it's time. It's now, and this is my 6-year-old son knows better than I do how to get on Facebook, but this is the best way to get out there and reach the community. Emergency events that have happened, or just community services. Another means of communicating with the public. So I mean, you have to have it. It's got to be there, and it's a good thing. We're looking. We just started another program, Nixle. It's another social media that allows us to put out information to the community should anything come up, whether it be an emergency or just a boil water alert. So we're looking forward to implementing that program.
Certainly. Now, Crime Stoppers is always looking to help the community and to help law enforcement. How have Crime Stoppers, how have we been able to help you?
With Crime Stoppers, just unlimited number of advertising materials, pencils, pins, signs that we can put up in the neighborhood saying, a crime has happened. Please call Crime Stoppers, for tips. Information that we can put into the schools to get the schools, the children involved in calling y'all and giving anonymous tips, which is the great thing. I just talked to some people last week that came in, hadn't heard of it, thought it was a wonderful idea, that you're a number. You're not a name, no one knows who you are, you just call, give your tip, and if the arrest is made, then you may get a reward. And I mean, with you even, you've called me up and said, we saw something on Facebook that we put on our website. So you're even actually actively searching out, looking for information too to help promote for us solving crimes.
Chief Holden, thank you for being on the show today. And we want to thank you for all that you do. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chip. And I can't emphasize enough, how great you've been to helping not just my agency, but all the law enforcement agencies, and whatever we can do to keep spreading the word for people to use you, because you're a wonderful tool, and you're there and you want to be helpful. So we appreciate that.
For more information about the Davenport Police Department, you can go to mydavenport.org or join them on social media at facebook.com/DavenportPolice. That's going to do it for the inaugural edition of Crime Stoppers. Keep in mind, Heartland Crime Stoppers is an organization that helps law enforcement resolve crime through anonymous tips and monetary rewards. It encourages a cooperative partnership between law enforcement, the media, and the community to ensure security and enhance our quality of life here in Polk County. For more information, you can check us out on the web at heartlandcrimestoppers.com or follow us on Facebook at Heartland Crime Stoppers Florida. Until next time, stay safe. And remember, it's a crime and they shouldn't get away with it.